Holmes! Holmes, will you stop that? You are utterly mad. Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate. Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The merry men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone, then. I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
Looking like Abe Lincoln. Robert Downey Jr. was clean shaven. We'll just go with that.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we... I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Madam, can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
Was your...
Oh no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is the shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is... I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Thank you, madam.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took...
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday.
Ah,
Hello, hello, hello.
what is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see. These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to... Our mysterious visitor...
Well, he's not the man for the job.
Perhaps he did not have the right... What a terrible way to die. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8. Harpoons for hunting whales. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. Dundee. This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book. The tooth. The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey... Someone drank from this glass recently. The initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work. This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture. Yes, this is a coarse tobacco, quite strong and very popular among sailors. Rum. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying... Someone drank. This wooden handle is plain and solid. This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed. JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook. The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped. These abbreviations mean something, but what? The weapon. This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years... Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Well, Mr. Hutt,
I think that we are lucky
and why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight.
Aha.
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen,
I don't like that.
We need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
this looks like the perfect hiding place.
I did not do that right. I'm gonna fuck it up. I fucked it up.
Shh. There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with...
Innocence.
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey, but we were here, waiting.
What is your...
John Hopley Nelligan, but I...
Do you deny that...
No, but I... Yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go.
What? But you can't!
Enough.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary.
You are welcome in.